Greetings fellow mammals, this video has chapters, use them. The new flash comb to remove 3D spotting and for better recoil, double accuracy buff from the light barrel and the also new violet laser, ripped stubby for the ADS speed and recoil, and the rest is default because the reload speed is fine and 30 rounds are enough for me. You can switch out the grip for the slim angled if you want a long suppressor for the minimap stealth instead. Very good close to lower mid-range weapon, can recommend it. Long sub, double accuracy buff from the Via laser and the heavy extended barrel, which also gives us better velocity, ripped stubby for recoil and ADS speed, and a fast magazine because why not? You can downgrade to the flomper, slim angled and basic mag if you want to try hollow point ammo. Second variation would be to just downgrade either the suppressor or grip to get a 36 round magazine. Good mid-range weapon that still holds up in CQB, the typical all-rounder gun that would be a good starting point for new players. Can recommend it. Long sub, because you definitely do not want to be found with this thing in your hands. Double accuracy buff from the Via laser and heavy extended barrel, also for the velocity of course. 36 round magazine because at range you'll need it. And synthetic tip ammo because otherwise this thing is just utter trash. You need to land those headshots. This weapon doesn't need a grip, and yes, the ADS speed is shit, but that's fine because you want to use this at longer ranges anyway. In my opinion, you should just pick a DMR if you want something for these distances. I do not recommend this. Long sub, double accuracy and velocity, ripped stubby for ADS and recoil, and a fast mag because 20 rounds ain't all that much. If you want to give the headshot ammo a try and hit those 2 shots in close range, you can downgrade to flompy, slim angled and a basic mag, but I don't think it's necessary. This thing hits pretty hard anyway. Good mid to long range weapon, but still packs quite a punch up close if your aim is good. Can recommend it. A guilty pleasure of mine. I know this looks weird, but trust me. Flompy because you want people to close in on you, double accuracy stack, ripped stubby to bring its ADS speed down, and then I used a 15 round mag because that further reduces the ADS speed and it also comes with a faster reload. With this setup you can turn corners, run into someone that's expecting you and still stomp them. I use this exclusively as a one-on-one domination tool, so the small mag doesn't matter all that much. If you do mind it, you can just go back to the normal 20 round one anyway, they cost the same. One of the best CQB guns in the game, but not really useful for much else. I can recommend it for smaller maps or if you limit yourself to certain areas of the bigger ones. Long sub, double accuracy stack, but with the heavy barrel this time, ripped stubby and a fast mag because the normal reload just feels a tad annoying. This is the most accurate AR and on top of that unique standing, it also has an insanely easy to handle recoil. A good all-rounder weapon, lacking some punch, but I can still recommend it, especially if you struggle with recoil. Flompy, double accuracy and ripped stubby for ADS speed and recoil. Again, downgrade to slim angled if you want a long suppressor stealth. Not a bad weapon, but it never clicked with me. Objectively speaking, I should recommend it, but subjectively speaking, I do not. Long sub because you do not want to get pushed with this thing, double accuracy stack and velocity buff, which is by the way the highest outside of the DMRs and snipers, ripped stubby for ADS speed and a fast mag because the base reload is horrible. I know this weapon could have a decent headshot build, but I still prefer this. Insanely good mid to long range weapon, kind of struggles up close, but can recommend it nonetheless. Flompensator because you do want to get pushed, double accuracy stack and ripped stubby for ADS speed. Very good close range weapon, but that's about it. For that I can recommend it. Flompy for recoil, double accuracy but with the blue laser for good hipfire, and alloy vertical for more recoil reduction. This weapon doesn't need fast ADS speed in my opinion. Another excellent CQB choice, and it does surprise me sometimes how well it can handle lower mid-range fights as well, but you shouldn't rely on that. All in all, I can recommend it, but you should stick to areas with shorter distances. Long sub because you don't want to get rushed, double accuracy and velocity buff, alloy vertical and a 25 round magazine. If you can live with 20 rounds, use the fast version and upgrade to the ripped stubby. Very good mid-range weapon, but not that comfortable below 20 meters. So try to stick above that. Can definitely recommend it though. Long sub because this is the last weapon you want to use in close range, heavy barrel and Via laser for accuracy, 36 round mag because you'll need it, and synthetic tip ammo because that's the only thing that can save this dogshit weapon. Although I would argue it doesn't. The ultimate battle dad choice. Dogshit at pretty much everything except having no recoil. But anyone that wants something for long range that's actually useful should just pick a DMR or a harder punching weapon like the Scar. I do not recommend this. Long sub, via laser only because unfortunately it has no light barrel, extended barrel instead because we can, and this thing is actually quite decent in mid-range, alloy vertical for the recoil, and a 25 round mag to fix its most prevalent issue. This weapon is a little psychopath. It can be just annoying enough in mid-range to get people irritated, and up close it will back them to push you. Most definitely recommended, another guilty pleasure of mine. Long sub because of the rest of the setup, double accuracy stack, alloy vertical for recoil, and fast mag because the basic reload annoys me. This is essentially a slower firing M4A1 with a bit less recoil. A reliable weapon, but very forgettable. Can somewhat recommend it. Suppressor, extended barrel for velocity, via laser for accuracy, 36 round magazine, and most importantly, synthetic tip ammo. This thing can reduce its BTK with just one headshot in the most relevant ranges. And with this recoil, that's pretty fucking easy to pull off. It used to be trash, especially considering the highly limited attachment pool, but now it's actually kind of fun, to be honest. Can recommend it. Flomper, double accuracy with blue laser because this shreds with close range hipfire, and alloy vertical for some recoil. Another weapon that wants to be pushed. Highly capable in CQB and can extend into the mid-range quite well. Can definitely recommend it. For the longest time I couldn't really connect with this weapon, but just recently one of your fellow mammals posted this setup on my Discord server and I gave it a try, and that has been the first time I really enjoyed it. All credit goes to Liel for this one. Long sub because you cannot really deal with a lot, double accuracy stack, slim hand stop for draw and ADS speed, then downgrading to the 20 round mag for even better ADS speed and sprint recovery, lightweight ammo for better strafe speed, and then one final buff for the sprint recovery with the rail cover. Ironically, this fixes the main issue of this weapon. It doesn't deal enough damage and it doesn't fire fast enough to compete with most other guns. But with this loadout you can simply start killing them way faster than they usually can. It's also insanely accurate at range, and the strafing feels like you're hovering around on an air hockey table. Really fun setup, highly recommended. Thanks again to Liel for helping me to finally appreciate this weapon. Long suppressor because we get no flompensator, double accuracy stack, alloy vertical to rein in the horizontal tendency, and a fast mag because the basic reload kinda sucks for a CQB weapon. Nothing special about this thing, but that's precisely why it's a great starter weapon. It just works. Can recommend it. Long sub because it's not quite as punchy up close, extended barrel for a bit of velocity, via laser for accuracy, fast mag because the default reload is too long, and synthetic tip ammo. This is essentially a slower firing SGX but with access to a headshot ammo type that reduces the time to kill significantly, and because it has no conceivable recoil anyway, it's easy to afford as well. Decent close range gun, and if you land your headshots, very efficient in mid-range. Can recommend it. Long sub because it's not as strong in CQB, heavy barrel and via laser for accuracy, no grip because it has very easygoing recoil, fast mag because we can, synthetic tip ammo because otherwise it would be a pea shooter, and a mag catch for good measure because why the fuck not. Another beamy SMG that rewards you for headshots. I guess between this and the MP5 the decision boils down to style preference. Quite an enjoyable weapon, and at long range you will have a lot of those moments where you get that kill you didn't think you should have gotten. Can really recommend it. Also part of my guilty pleasure list. Long sub because this thing is trash up close, heavy extended and via laser combo, 36 round magazine because you'll need it and recoil is irrelevant, and synthetic tip ammo because you have to hit headshots, otherwise you just suffer. Another pea shooter with no recoil, but because of the damage and especially the fire rate it sucks big schlong in close range, so why would you ever use this when the MP5 and MP7 exist? Or even the AK-205, SCAR and DMRs in general? Dice only knows. I do not recommend this. Long suppressor, heavy extended and via laser, hollow point ammo because we can, mag catch because there are no magazine options, and a 1.5x thermal because we still have a lot of points left. Since this thing has no access to grips, you can go pretty wild with the budget, but ultimately the P90 is neither good nor bad, it's just kinda I neither do nor do not recommend it. You'll have to figure out yourself if you like this thing. Long sub because you die in mid-range, basic barrel because this weapon needs no accuracy, 23 round magazine because the biggest one is too expensive and the small ones are too small, green laser because this weapon wants to delete people in hipfire coming out of a full sprint, and a newly added ADS tag light for some added visual confusion in those lower mid-range fights you might be forced into. This thing is a close range weapon only, although it can be surprisingly beamy sometimes, and apart from small maps or certain areas on the big ones, I do not really recommend it. Flompensator because you want people to push your location, double accuracy stack but with the blue laser for the added hipfire improvement, 20 round mag because the small ones are too small and the biggest one is too expensive, and to round it off, the mag catch because there is no fast 20 round magazine. This thing has been nerfed recently, but it's still pretty powerful. You don't need a grip because the recoil is laughable, it still packs an enormous punch up close, and overall it just works very well. Can still recommend it. Lightened sub because we can afford it, heavy extended and via laser for accuracy, synthetic tip ammo for headshots, and a mag catch because there is no fast mag. Another beamy headshot SMG, at least this doesn't suck as much as the UMG up close, and it arguably has the easiest recoil in the entire game, but I just don't see the point in using it. And yes, I know you can do a 60 round build, but why? I abstain from recommending this or not. Long sub because we get no flompensator, double accuracy combo, slim angled for draw and ADS speed, and a mag catch because the fast mag would slow down the draw speed and I don't want that on this maximum aggression gun. This thing is a CQB shredder, and with some decent microbursting it can kind of hold up in the lower mid range as well. If that's what you are looking for, I can recommend it. Long sub because this is a mid-range weapon, double accuracy combo, also light barrel because it helps with the horrible ADS speed, and a slim angled for another ADS speed improvement as well as better draw speed. LMGs in general are very clunky and slow handling weapons. A 300 millisecond ADS speed is not something I enjoy personally, so unless you are playing support I wouldn't really recommend it. If you are a medic however, then this is a great mid-range option with 100 rounds, very calm recoil and an acceptable 250 millisecond ADS speed. Long sub because it still has the LMG clunkiness up close, heavy extended plus via laser for accuracy and velocity, ripped stubby because it feels better to me than slim angled recoil wise, and I know that one would help more with the draw speed, but basic mag because the other ones all worsen the sprint recovery, and the rail cover to improve exactly that weak spot. Performance wise an absolute monster, but being held back by the LMG handling. Much more acceptable when playing support though, can recommend it. Long sub because this thing is not that comfortable in close range, double accuracy stack, slim angled for the draw and ADS speed, and a 50 round belt for faster reloads and another ADS buff. This is a 50 round AK-4D with a bit more recoil and shit handling, so if that sounds good to you, I can recommend it. Flompensator because we cannot afford the suppressor, heavy extended for velocity and accuracy combined with the via laser, slim hand stop for the horrible ADS speed, downgrading to the basic 30 round mag for more ADS and draw speed improvements, and then, most importantly, synthetic tip ammo. This is an absolute laser beam mid and long range weapon, which is also one of the very few that can reduce its BTK with just one headshot. So if you land those, it becomes a lot better. You might even win close range fights. Ultimately though, for most of my regular engagements, not the comfiest pick. I somewhat recommend it, but it could need a slight buff to be honest. Flompy because this thing is very comfortable in close range, short barrel for the ADS speed, and because we don't have access to a light one, slim hand stop for better mobility and because the recoil can be dealt with, and the 30-point blue laser for some accuracy and to lean fully into the hipfire improvement we got from the barrel already. I call this thing the hallway shredder. If you are looking for something that can stop multiple enemy squads from entering a building, this is it. Most certainly recommended. Long sub because you are very weak up close, heavy extended and via laser for accuracy and velocity, handling is shit anyway, slim angled for some ADS and draw speed, and this time I will actually mention the scope because I am using the 1-4x for 20 points. This weapon has no drop off at all. No matter the distance, you will always deal 25 points of damage. That's why it actually makes sense to switch to single fire mode sometimes, change the zoom to 4x and then tap fire that sniper out of existence. It actually works surprisingly often. Can recommend it. Lightens up because I don't want sway and it sucks in close range. Heavy extended enviro laser for accuracy and velocity. 45 round fast mag to improve the ADS speed. If you don't care, use the 60 round one. And of course, synthetic tip ammo. Out of all the full auto, long range, beamy, headshot focus type weapons, if you would force me to pick one, this would probably be it. It cannot do anything else, but that it can do tremendously well. I do recommend it for that. Long sub because we don't have the flompensator, light barrel for accuracy and ADS speed, slim angled for more ADS speed as well as draw speed, no accuracy laser because the 75 round box mag also has the accuracy buff for some reason, and it also doesn't worsen ADS and draw speed. It's weird, but hey, it's there, so why not use it? And finally the rail cover to get that sprint recovery timing down to AR levels. This is a close range LMG with still shitty ADS speed unfortunately, I wish that got buffed, but still a really efficient weapon and quite potent in mid-range as well. Can recommend it. Flompy because this thing shreds up close and can punch in the mid-range as well. Short barrel because we have no light bond again. Slim angled for ADS and draw speed. Basic mag, yes the reload sucks ass, I know, but I don't want to lose mobility. And finally the 20-point blue laser for some accuracy and leaning more into the hip fire. Great close range weapon, really decent in mid-range as well. Absolute recommendation, no doubt about it. Flompensator because of budget and wanting no sway, extended barrel for velocity, via laser for accuracy. I know spread never increases on the MRs, but this lowers the start value too, and that means you can full strafe while contesting snipers. Alloy vertical to somewhat help with the recoil, 15 round mag to improve the ADS speed, and most importantly hollow point ammo so you can pull off this 2-shot combo. Good upper mid to long range weapon, just not my thing. For anyone who enjoys those distances, I can recommend it. Flomper, extended for velocity, no grip because it's not needed, 15 round fast mag because 10 rounds suck and the basic reload takes ages, and synthetic tip ammo because the BTK drops with just one headshot and you can 2-shot up close. This is an arthritis speedrun incarnated, but a very good mid-range weapon nonetheless. I do recommend it. Lighten sub for no sway, extended barrel for velocity, slim hand stop for ADS speed, fast mag because we can, long range ammo for less drop, and a via laser for moving accuracy. With this setup every single shot will be exactly on target. All you need is good aim and the world is yours. The ultimate sniper contester. Highly recommended for any long range enjoyers. Long sub because we have no access to flompy, extended barrel for velocity, slim hand stop for ADS speed, hollow point ammo because that enables 2 shots, and a via laser for strafing accuracy. Objectively a better version of the EMR, but I just dislike the small magazines and tedious reloads. Neutral recommendation, but no personal one. Lighten sub because you do not want to be found with this thing and also having less sway helps. Extended barrel for velocity, no grip because it doesn't need one. Synthetic tip ammo because it drops the BTK with just one headshot and you will need that. And a via laser for strafing accuracy. I hate this thing, but if you like slow killing rooftop camping type weapons, then I guess I can recommend this. Otherwise, spare yourself from leveling this piece of shit. Standard sub because recoil is irrelevant on snipers, extended barrel for velocity, full angled for ADS speed, the accuracy debuff is irrelevant, fast mag because why not, long range ammo for less bullet drop, ADS bolt for scoped cycling, and then I use the 10x scope without any anti-glare coating because when I go sniping I use the decoy gadget and that removes glint entirely anyway. This is by far the best sweet spot sniper, I have to recommend it. Lighten sub because I don't want to be rushed and it doesn't have cheaper ones, which is annoying. Extended barrel for velocity, no grip because we cannot afford it, long range ammo for less drop, and the ADS bolt for cycling. Unless you play exactly around the different sweet spots, there is no point in using this over the M2010, and that's why I do not recommend it. Regular flash hider, extended barrel, full angled for ADS speed, 7 round magazine for more ADS speed, long range ammo, ADS bolt for aimed cycling, and then the 6x thermal. With this setup you just shoot at every small glowing dot in the distance, and if you are lucky the sweet spot will take care of it. Apart from that, this has again absolutely no use compared to the M2010, but for this one use case I do recommend it. Long sub because apart from headshots this is a 2 body shot machine, so recoil is a factor here, and when you hold your breath as recon there is no sway at all. Anyway, double accuracy buff with via laser and light barrel, not extended, I'll explain why in a second. Low profile stubby for an ADS improvement without the accuracy downside, penetration ammo for some nice collateral multi-kills, and a 6x thermal. This setup is made for full strafe counter sniping, and in general with the double accuracy stack you can precisely snipe while being in full movement. It's actually kind of ridiculous. On top of that, apart from lacking some velocity and a sweet spot range, it's still also technically the most potent sniper just because of the rate of fire. So obviously I do absolutely recommend it. Slim handstop for draw and ADS speed, 6 shell tube for ADS speed, and also actually because it improves draw speed too, which the 5 shell tube does not for some reason. Slugs because that's the most consistent way to one shot with this thing, and a 20-point green laser for good hip fire. The typical pump action shotgun that does exactly what it's supposed to. Can easily recommend it. Slim handstop for ADS and draw speed, 4 shell tube for the same reasons, slugs because they have the better damage model, and a 20-point green laser for hipfire. Not a bad shotgun, but I wish it had a slightly longer one-shot range. Still, I can recommend it as an assault backup weapon or for small maps. Flash hider, extended barrel because we are ballin', basic flashlight for the hipfire recovery, slim handstop for speed, 8-round fast mag because the reload sucks, buckshot, and a 20-point green laser for good hipfire. Another good assault backup weapon, but as a primary I wouldn't even use this on small maps. It just lacks some punch. I can't really recommend it. Doesn't matter. Absolute piece of dog shit. Don't use it. Brake for recoil, 20-point green laser for hipfire, and the RS sight because it has the best view frame. I have actually changed my opinion when it comes to pistols. Being spotted doesn't matter as much, what's important is winning that final one-on-one. That's why I want as little recoil and good hipfire as possible now. This is still a shit weapon though, don't get me wrong, I do not recommend it. Brake, laser, sight, even worse than a P18, do not recommend it either. 10-point green laser because we need some usable hipfire, 11-round big mag because the small one is just never sufficient, and the RS sight. This is at least usable, but still far from great. I can recommend this over the other pistols, but that's about it. Short barrel for good hipfire, hollow point ammo for that 20mm one-shot range, and the OSA 7 sight because I have an easier time hitting headshots with it. There aren't even enough attachment options on this weapon to fill out the budget, by the way. Great design. Probably still the best sidearm in the game though. I highly recommend it. Brake, laser, RS sight, the worst pistol of them all, avoided like the plague. 20-point green laser for good hipfire and hollow point ammo for a possible increase in damage. It doesn't really do a whole lot, but many times the enemy won't be at full health, so it might help. Good backup sidearm, but I wish the 2-shot range would extend 5 meters further. Currently it often betrays me by an arm's length. Can still recommend it though. 20-round mag, that's it. That's all you need really. The iron sights are great, the recoil is super easy, and the only thing that sucks about this weapon is the ammo count, so you will need that bigger magazine. But with that thing, this is easily the best overall sidearm in the game. It requires no skill and it just works. Can absolutely recommend it. For anyone still using a pistol because they don't have the aim for the revolver skill shots, you should switch to this thing. Enable a booster and play 4 or 5 rounds of King of the Hill on Iberian or Cairo, then you'll have the big mag in no time. Sidearm leveling has become a lot more acceptable after this patch. Thank fuck. And that's it for today. If you watched this whole thing in one go, what is wrong with you? But thank you for your time. I will see you on the battlefield. Sorrow out.